Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't what the Vatican is hiding, but how much of history still remains undiscovered. Because sometimes, the most powerful secrets aren't buried beneath stone. They're hidden within the pages of history itself. Some stories are supported by archaeology. Others remain legends passed down through generations. Distinguishing fact from speculation is what makes the Vatican one of the world's most fascinating places. So what truly lies beneath Vatican City? Ancient tombs, historic archives, priceless manuscripts, masterpieces of art, centuries of faith, and mysteries that continue to inspire debate. Discovered in caves near the Dead Sea in 1947, these ancient manuscripts transformed biblical scholarship forever. They contain some of the oldest surviving copies of Hebrew scriptures, along with writings from a Jewish community that lived before and during the time of Jesus. Several churches, including one in Spain, possess ancient chalices claimed to be the Holy Grail. Yet no conclusive evidence has ever proven which, if any, is authentic. Finally, we arrive at the Dead Sea Scrolls. Then comes one of history's greatest legends, the Holy Grail. According to tradition, it was the cup used by Jesus during the Last Supper. Over the centuries, countless stories claimed it possessed miraculous powers, inspiring kings, knights, and explorers to search for it. Scientific testing performed in 1988 suggested the cloth originated during the Middle Ages. Yet other researchers have questioned those results, arguing contamination and later repairs may have affected the samples. Decades later, the mystery remains unresolved, keeping the debate alive among scientists, historians, and believers alike. The linen cloth bears the faint image of a man with wounds resembling crucifixion. Millions believe it could be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. Historians, however, generally view it as a monument inherited from Imperial Rome, later given new Christian symbolism by placing a cross on its summit. Perhaps no Christian relic has inspired more debate than the famous Shroud of Turin. Carved in ancient Egypt and later transported to Rome by the Roman Empire, it was eventually moved to its current location in the 16th century. Some conspiracy theories claim it symbolizes hidden connections between Christianity and ancient Egyptian religions. Still, for many visitors, seeing Egyptian mummies inside Vatican walls creates an unforgettable sense of mystery. Standing proudly in the center of St. Peter's Square is another fascinating object, the Great Egyptian Obelisk. Why would the spiritual center of Christianity preserve objects from ancient Egypt? The answer is far less mysterious than many imagine. Like museums around the world, the Vatican has collected archaeological treasures to preserve human history and promote scholarly research. Inside the Vatican museums is another surprising collection: ancient Egyptian artifacts, including mummies thousands of years old. For centuries, church courts investigated people accused of heresy. Some trials resulted in imprisonment, torture, or execution. These surviving documents provide historians with valuable evidence about one of Christianity's most controversial periods. They remind us that institutions, like societies, have experienced both moments of compassion and moments of injustice. History beneath the Vatican is layered, each generation building upon the one before it. Another dark chapter involves the records of the medieval Inquisition. Excavations uncovered Roman symbols, pagan decorations, and burial customs that existed alongside early Christian traditions. Rather than proving secret religions, these discoveries reveal the complex transition from pagan Rome to Christian Europe. Standing proudly in the center of St. Peter's Square is another fascinating object, the Great Egyptian Obelisk. The answer is far less mysterious than many imagine. Like museums around the world, the Vatican has collected archaeological treasures to preserve human history and promote scholarly research. Still, for many visitors, seeing Egyptian mummies inside Vatican walls creates an unforgettable sense of mystery. Inside the Vatican museums is another surprising collection: ancient Egyptian artifacts, including mummies thousands of years old. Why would the spiritual center of Christianity preserve objects from ancient Egypt? For centuries, church courts investigated people accused of heresy. Some trials resulted in imprisonment, torture, or execution. These surviving documents provide historians with valuable evidence about one of Christianity's most controversial periods. They remind us that institutions, like societies, have experienced both moments of compassion and moments of injustice. Excavations uncovered Roman symbols, pagan decorations, and burial customs that existed alongside early Christian traditions. Rather than proving secret religions, these discoveries reveal the complex transition from pagan Rome to Christian Europe. History beneath the Vatican is layered, each generation building upon the one before it. Another dark chapter involves the records of the medieval Inquisition. Hidden below the magnificent church lies the Vatican necropolis, an ancient Roman burial ground often called the City of the Dead. Archaeologists discovered streets lined with tombs dating back nearly 2,000 years. Many believe this is where St. Peter, one of Jesus Christ's closest disciples, was buried. Michelangelo's extraordinary understanding of human anatomy amazed the world. Historians know he studied human bodies to perfect his sculptures, a controversial practice during his time. His sketches reveal the remarkable dedication that transformed stone into masterpieces such as the Pietà and the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Now descend even deeper beneath St. Peter's Basilica. But the archives are only the beginning. Travel back to Renaissance Florence, where the legendary artist Michelangelo is believed to have hidden inside a small secret chamber during political unrest. Discovered only in the 20th century, its walls are covered with charcoal sketches believed to have been drawn by the master himself. The archives also contain documents from the Second World War, including records connected to Pope Pius XII, a figure who remains deeply controversial. Some historians argue he quietly helped rescue thousands of Jews during the Holocaust. Others believe he should have publicly condemned Nazi crimes more strongly. The debate continues, and many researchers are still examining these historical records today. Among these priceless documents are letters written by Galileo Galilei, the scientist whose support for the heliocentric model brought him into conflict with church authorities. His writings remind us of one of history's most famous clashes between scientific discovery and religious authority. Our journey begins inside the Vatican Apostolic Archives, formerly known as the Secret Archives. Despite the dramatic old name, secret originally referred to the Pope's private collection rather than hidden conspiracies. Even so, the archive contains over 80 kilometers of shelves filled with centuries of letters, official documents, diplomatic records, and manuscripts. Today, we're descending beneath the surface to explore the legends, historical discoveries, and controversial mysteries hidden inside the Vatican. Some are supported by evidence, others remain speculation. But together they create one of history's greatest puzzles. Welcome to Vatican City, the world's smallest independent nation, covering only 49 hectares, yet one of the most influential religious centers on Earth. For millions of believers, it is a sacred place. For historians, it is a living museum. And for conspiracy theorists, it is the center of countless unanswered questions. Imagine standing in the holiest place of Christianity, surrounded by thousands of pilgrims praying with hope and faith. Now imagine that beneath your feet lies a hidden world filled with ancient tunnels, forgotten tombs, secret archives, and mysteries that have fascinated historians for centuries.